We want to ensure people receive suitable advice and drive down the number giving up valuable defined benefit pensions when it is not in their interests to do so, the FCA's Christopher Woolard, the Financial Conduct Authority (FCA), is consulting on plans to ban contingent charging on defined benefit (DB) transfer advice. In a consultation paper, CP 1925 released this morning, the 30th of July, the regulator expressed concern that too many advisors were delivering poor advice, much of it driven by conflicts of interest in the way they are remunerated. It described contingent charging as an obvious conflict of interest and, as such, argued the practice should be banned except from specific groups of customers with certain identifiable circumstances. Related articles in the minority of cases where contingent charging was permitted, the FCA said, advice firms would have to charge the same amount, in monetary terms, for advice to transfer as they charge when the advice is non-contingent. Interested parties have until the 30th of October 2019 to respond to the consultation. The watchdog said the ban on contingent charging should come into effect within a week of the board making a final decision. Ongoing fees. The FCA is also looking to address potential conflicts of interest that arise where an advisor advising on a pension transfer stands to receive ongoing fees, which in some cases, it pointed out, can be for 20 or 30 years following the transfer. Additionally, the FCA proposed advisors will be required to demonstrate why any scheme they recommend is more suitable than a consumer's workplace pension scheme. FCA Executive Director of Strategy and Competition Christopher Woolard said, the FCA's supervisory work has revealed continued problems in the pensions transfer advice market. By making changes to the way advisors are paid for transfer advice and the other changes to transfer advice we are proposing today, we want to ensure people receive suitable advice and drive down the number giving up valuable defined benefit pensions when it is not in their interests to do so. Royal London Director of Policy Steve Webb argued that, if contingent charging was to be banned, the FCA and the government would have to find new ways of making transfer advice affordable and available. If the FCA does not have the power to enable people to claim advice costs out of their DB pension rights, then the government needs to legislate to make this a right, he said. Consumers should also have a right to a partial DB transfer to reduce the all-or-nothing nature of too many transfers. Until now, FCA actions have reduced the supply of DB transfer advice and raised the cost, driving some high-quality advisors with unblemished records out of the market altogether. This has to change. AMP's involvement in the past. The Work and Pensions Committee (WPC) has consistently argued advisors could be incentivized to give bad advice, for example, recommending a DB transfer where inappropriate to do so, when using a contingent charging fee structure because they are only paid if the client goes ahead with the transfer. In the wake of the committee's Freedom and Choice inquiry, however, and after a previous consultation, the FCA decided to hold off on making any changes with rules on contingent charging for DB transfers, arguing the evidence did not show contingent charging as the main driver of poor outcomes for customers. Earlier this year, the WPC again